Hi there and welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Frida from EMCsoft, and today we're going to be talking about Bitrix feature collabs. So stay tuned and let's master Bitrix24 together. So we're going to start by opening the collab section. There's a couple of ways that you can access this section. So on the left side menu, you'll see the direct option to open the section. You'll also see the messenger section. So you can either open directly from collabs, or you can go ahead and open from the messenger section as well. And even if you create one here in the collab section, it'll also show on the chats on the left side. So you can see the collab here, and you can also see it on this side. There's also a third way to access it, and it is by going to the workgroups. So if we click here on the workgroup section, we are also able to create a new collab straight from the workgroup section as well. We're going to click the plus sign and we're going to assign a name, and we can also upload a logo. So here I've selected a logo, a name for this collab. You can also write a description. Also, something that is more important is the access permissions. So if I click here, I'm able to add who the owner is, moderators for the collab, and other users as well. So we're gonna go one by one. So owner, there's only one owner, and it's the person with the highest permissions inside of the collab. From there, we have the moderators. So we can select a particular moderator for the collab as well. And you can add multiple moderators, for example. Also, you'll have the option to either deny or permit new users of seeing the past messages inside of the collab chat. Also, you can control which members are allowed to invite new collab members into the group. So either the owner only, owner and moderators, or anyone, right? I'm gonna leave it in all members. Also, you can either allow or deny the inviting of guests to this collab. So that's external guests, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. You'll understand this part better after I explain to you the difference between the guests and the regular users. Also, so we have users allowed to post messages or not. So either all members, or again, you can set that for whatever is most convenient for your collab. Also, there is a task section inside of the collabs. There's also calendar and other sections that we'll dive into in a minute. But here in the collab tasks, we're going to be able to set the permissions for the tasks as well. So who can view the collab task? In this case, I'll leave it as all members. Allowed to sort and move the collab tasks, I'll leave it as employees only. So I don't want anyone external, only somebody from my own team. Users allowed to create new tasks. In this case, we'll leave it as employees only as well. And users allowed to edit collab tasks. Here, we're going to leave it for owner and moderators. So I don't want other employees to be able to modify the task that maybe a moderator or the owner assigned to them. And last but not least, users allowed to delete collab tasks. In this case, I'll leave it for all members, but if you want to assign a different permission here, you're welcome to do so. Awesome, so I'm gonna go ahead and save that. And I can also turn on this option to auto delete messages. So it'll ask you, for example, if you want it every hour, once a day, once a week, or once a month. So you can set that up if you'd like. In this case, I'm gonna leave it just the way it is. I'm gonna go ahead and create the collab. And the first thing that's going to pop up is the option to add more employees and guests into the collab. So I'm going to explain to you a little bit about the difference between the employees and the guests. So employees, very simple. It's going to be a user from within your Bitrix portal. So any employee, any user inside of the Bitrix portal can be invited through the employees section. And then we have the guest section, where you can invite anybody that is external to Bitrix. It can be a client, it can be a provider, and you can do it by adding their email address here, and they will receive an email with a direct invite to join the collab. Or you can just copy this link and send it to the person that you want to invite into the collab. So for example, if we open up that link, so I'm going to be able to see this window where I can sign in or create an account so that I can sign into the collab. So if they don't have an account, it'll take them to sign in, and if they do, then it'll take them to log in into their account so they can access your collab through their account. Awesome, so let's continue here. going to start with the sidebar. So if we open the sidebar, we're going to be able to see the information on our collab. So here we would see, for example, the description if we had written any. We see the logo, we see the members. We can add members from here as well, turn on sound notifications or turn them off. And again, it'll ask you if you want to auto delete messages. So if you didn't configure it in the beginning, you can do so now. Also, you're going to be able to see the favorite messages. So you can star a message on collabs. For example, hello, I send this, and then I can click the 3 dots, more, and add to favorites, and it will appear here in the favorite messages. Okay, so similar to this, you also have links. So if any link is sent here, it'll also pop up here in the all links section. And same with files and media. So if I add a file from this computer and I go ahead and send that, then it's going to actually be shown here in files and media. All right, awesome. So you can also click the 3 dots, and if you are a owner, then you're able to edit the collab. And depending on the permissions, you can also add members, right? Or hide the collab from your chat section. So we're going to close this bad boy. You can also use the search icon to search for any particular words. If you want to find a particular place in the chat history, a particular conversation, this is a very useful tool. And you can also do a direct video call to all the members inside of this collab by clicking here, or you can also do a voice call and Zoom meeting room as well. We also have a calendar section. So if we click here on the calendar, we'll be able to see a calendar that's been created particularly and exclusively for our collab chat, so that we can organize ourselves on events, so that we can organize ourselves on upcoming meetings, appointments, etc., scheduled calls, whatnot, with our providers or with our customers and employees inside the collab. And this is going to work just like the regular Bitrix calendar. I can create a quick event by clicking right on the calendar, or I can click the green create button on top and just go to the full on editor to create an event. And this calendar will be available for everyone, so anybody can create an event, and their fellow guests inside the collab and employees are going to be able to view that as well in that same calendar. Okay, awesome. So you can create a task directly from here if you'd like as well, but we're going to go back and we're going to go ahead and discuss files. So you can also click here on the files tab, and it'll open up a folder where you can actually connect to your drive as well. Here you can add any files, any folders, and have all your documentation organized for that collab, any contracts, any confidentiality notices, etc. They can be stored here in this section. Awesome. And also we can use the little clip icon here to actually attach a file from Bitrix drive. So if I click here, I'm able to select from my drive, and I can send something directly from this files document as well. All right. And also we have tasks here. So if I click here on the tasks icon, I'm also able to create a task directly in the list view or in the Kanban view. We also have deadline, planner, calendar, and Gantt, and I can select a particular stage view, right? For example, if I have a work group that I want this to look like, then I can go ahead and click on that work group as well. Awesome. And I'm able to create a task here. This is going to open the short form for creating the task, or I can open the detailed form by clicking here, and that'll take me to the full detail view for the task, and also create that useful way of handling our tasks inside the collab, so that way they are stored in the same place and we have proper communication with the client, the providers, and anybody that needs to be a part of these tasks. Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and close that now. And lastly, we're going to talk about just these icons. Very straightforward. For example, if I click on this one, it'll transcribe what I'm saying and turn it into typed words. That can be very convenient if you don't have time to type. Also, you can add an emoji. They added a whole bunch of new emojis, by the way, with this last update of Bitrix24. So there's a lot of emojis and even stickers available to use here as well. And here you can access any applications. In this case, we don't have any, so that's why we don't see any applications there. And of course, you can create a poll. And I will now show you exactly what poll is. So basically, you can add a poll here. So we'll say, for example, Let's say we are trying to decide on a particular logo for the project. So I can ask the question. In this case, I'm keeping it super simple, so just logo. And I can add multiple options here. So let's say we have 3 different logos that we're trying to choose from. And we can add more options here as well, as many as we need. And we can move them around by dragging this guy over here, right? In this case, we'll just leave it as is. And we can also allow multiple choices. So in this case, we're going to turn it off because we do want everyone in the group to choose just one poll option. So also you can turn this into an anonymous poll by just clicking here, or you can just set it as a regular poll by clicking the off button. And you can also allow revoting if you'd like, or turn that off. So once somebody votes here, then they won't be able to vote again. If you turn it on, then they will, right? So I'm going to go ahead and create the poll. And this is exactly how the poll is going to look like. This is a public poll. And for example, if I choose logo 2, then I'll see I have 1 vote for the logos. And as everybody starts to vote, we will see the percentages here, and we will be able to see the final decisions on this side, so that we can pick a logo. And you can also download the results here if you'd like. It will actually download an Excel file for you, and I'll open that so you can see what that looks like. So basically, you'll see the question and all the logo options and who selected which option, and even the date when it was selected. So pretty convenient if you need to have full-on analytics of who's choosing what in the poll. All right, great. So I'm going to go ahead and close that off, and we're going to move on for document for signing. So document for signing is actually exactly like e-signature, and we have a video on e-signature that I'm going to add to the description of this video so that you can see in full detail. If you haven't revised e-signature before, it's going to look exactly like this. You'll be able to upload your document here for signing, okay? And I'm going to actually choose one that we already have available, which is a service agreement, but you can upload a new one if you'd like by clicking here, right? And just uploading from your files, or just dragging and dropping a file here. So I'm going to go ahead and click for the service agreement, and then I'm going to click continue, okay? And then you will choose somebody to be the sender. So in this case, it's going to be myself. And you can also choose your company details here, okay? Your company details are not going to be edited here directly, okay? These company details are set up in your settings. And again, if you want to go into more detail about this, you'll have to check our e-signature video. And also you're going to choose a recipient. So you can choose somebody external from your customer list. So for example, we'll do free to test. Okay, awesome. And you're going to click continue. Okay, so you'll see the service agreement here. You can edit that service agreement if you'd like. In this case, we have the client first name, last name, and position. And I added this as a CRM field here. So you can insert any CRM fields that you want. Okay, and also the service provider as well. So you can add that as well with the company details, okay, here. And the signatures are added here. So for example, if I erase this one, and then I will insert the signature here, okay. Awesome. Then we will send over this document for signing, okay, and we can also add custom text box here. So just insert a random text, go here, and then you can actually edit that text here as well. So hello tests, right? And you can add to that document here. Awesome. So let's continue. I'm going to click here, continue. And in this case, I'm both the sender and the recipient, right? So I'm going to submit for signing. This is exactly how we would go about this. We would send it. Here I can see the document has been created. So if I click open, I'll see the full on document here. Okay, awesome. And I will also be able to see that document here in the collabs. But keep in mind the signing will be done via email. Okay, so if I go here to my email, I'll be able to see that signature notification. So if I open this document, I will be able to sign here. All right, great. So that's exactly how the signature would be working. Again, if you want to go more in detail on this, you'll have to check out our e-signature video. All right, beautiful. Now we're going to go ahead and go to the time slots option. So you can only configure open slots outside of the collab. So here we're actually not going to be able to modify anything. Okay, but we can configure that in our open slots, and I'll show you how to do that. So here, if we go to calendar and then click on open slots, we're able to configure exactly when we have available. Okay, I'm gonna create one from scratch. I want available slots on Thursday, Friday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and Monday. Let's say that I have availability from 11 to 2 p.m. So this is where I would actually configure my time slots, and I can send it here with the time slots. Honestly, I don't recommend using this too much on this side. I recommend just using it directly from here, copy the link, and then send it over, because it tends to actually send other different time slots for some reason. So here you can just copy it, and then they'll have the availability to choose a particular time, right? Awesome. And we can also create an event or a meeting directly here. So we already went over this just a minute ago with the calendar section, but again, you can do it directly by clicking here if you'd like. Just create the event, write a name for it, time, date, etc., right? Description, etc. So we can do that directly from here as well. Or we can create a task directly from here. Again, as we saw before in the task section, it's exactly the same thing. This is just a shortcut. So we can do detailed form, and we'll have the full-on task to create here as well. Beautiful. And again, file on Bitrix or file from the computer. So this is going to be from Drive, okay? And you can also add a file from the desktop. Okay, that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this video. We really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed this and all of our videos. If you did enjoy the video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave us a comment right below the description.